The email arrived late one night, its subject line as thrilling as it was cryptic: "For those who dare, the hidden caves of Amara." It claimed to be an invitation-only trek to a newly discovered cave system deep in the Western Ghats. No guidebooks, no maps, just a chance to explore the unexplored. I'd always been an adrenaline junkie, the kind of guy who'd free-climb cliffs just for the view. This seemed tailor-made for me. The sender was anonymous, but the directions were detailed. Adventure calls, I thought, and without a second thought, I packed my gear and set out. The trek to the caves was uneventful, but something felt off. The path was too pristine, as if no one else had ever walked it. The forest was eerily silent. I brushed the feeling aside, this was what I lived for, after all. When I arrived at the cave entrance, there was no one there. No guides, no other trekkers. Just me and the gaping maw of the earth. A printed note was pinned to a tree near the entrance: "Explore if you dare." The cave was mesmerizing. Its walls shimmered with minerals, and stalactites hung like jagged teeth. I ventured deeper, flashlight in hand, the thrill of discovery pushing me forward. As I moved through the twisting tunnels, I noticed something odd: faint markings on the walls, like arrows pointing me in a specific direction. I thought I was just lucky to have stumbled upon someone's guide markers, until I heard the sound. A faint rumble. The ground beneath me shuddered, and a deafening crash echoed through the cave. I spun around, heart pounding, to see that the entrance had collapsed. "Hello?" I shouted, my voice trembling. "Is anyone there?" No answer. Panic surged, but I forced myself to stay calm. This wasn't my first risky adventure. I had supplies, a flashlight, and determination. I told myself I'd find another exit. But as I turned back into the cave, I noticed something chilling: the arrows that had guided me in were now missing. The walls were smooth, untouched. It was as if someone, or something, had erased them. By the third day, hunger and fear had begun to wear me down. My water was running low, and the darkness felt suffocating. I tried retracing my steps, but the tunnels all looked the same. Every path led me back to the same central chamber, a hollow space where the ceiling dripped water into a shallow pool. That was when I found the carving. It was etched crudely into the wall, a name, my name. My blood ran cold. How was that possible? I hadn't told anyone I was coming here. The email had been anonymous. I hadn't even mentioned it to my friends. Panic clawed at me, but I pushed it down. I needed to survive. I drank sparingly from the pool, ignoring its metallic taste, and rationed my energy bars. But the feeling that I wasn't alone gnawed at me. That night, I heard the first sound, a soft scraping, like metal against stone. It came from the tunnel behind me. I spun around, flashlight trembling in my hand, but saw nothing. Just the endless black dot. On the fourth day, I started marking my own paths with chalk to avoid getting lost. Yet, every time I returned to the central chamber, the markings were gone. It was as if the cave itself were alive, playing tricks on me. I began to hear whispers. At first, I thought it was my mind unraveling under the strain, but the whispers grew louder, more distinct. They weren't random, they were calling my name. I tried to sleep, but my dreams were filled with shadows and the sound of scraping metal. When I woke, I found footprints near my resting spot. They weren't mine. Someone was here with me. On the sixth day, I discovered an old, battered journal tucked into a crevice in the wall. Its pages were yellowed, the writing smudged, but I could make out enough to send shivers down my spine. The journal belonged to another adventurer, a man named Arun. He had come to this cave years ago, lured by an invitation eerily similar to mine. His last entries were erratic, filled with paranoia. The arrows lead nowhere. The walls whisper. I'm being hunted. They want me to die here. To become part of the cave. If you're reading this, it's already too late. I dropped the journal, my hands shaking. Arun had never made it out. And now I knew why, someone, or something, was hunting people here that I didn't sleep that night. Every sound, every drip of water, every shift of air, set my nerves on edge. My flashlight's beam felt pitifully small against the vast darkness. That was when I saw it. A figure, silhouetted against the wall. It moved quickly, silently, darting in and out of the shadows. My flashlight flickered, and the figure was gone. But I knew what I'd seen. "Who's there?" I shouted, my voice echoing. "What do you want?" No answer. Just the faint scrape of metal on stone, closer this time. Desperation gave me courage. I fashioned a crude weapon from a sharp rock and a sturdy branch. If someone was hunting me, I wouldn't go down without a fight. That night, the figure returned. It lingered just outside the range of my flashlight, a shadow among shadows. I heard breathing, deep, raspy. "Why are you doing this?" I demanded. A voice replied, low and chilling, "Because you came." The figure stepped into the light. It was a man, gaunt and pale, his eyes sunken. He held a jagged piece of metal, a blade carved from the cave itself. His smile was grotesque, devoid of humanity. "This cave is mine," he said. "And so are you." I didn't wait for him to move. I lunged, striking him with my makeshift weapon. He howled, a guttural sound that echoed through the tunnels. I didn't stop. I hit him again and again until he stopped moving. That I didn't look back. I ran through the tunnels, adrenaline overriding my exhaustion. My flashlight flickered dangerously, but I kept moving. Eventually, I heard it, the faint sound of voices. Real voices. I followed the sound to a narrow crack in the cave wall. Rescuers were on the other side, shouting my name. They pulled me out, their faces a mixture of relief and shock when they saw the state I was in. As they led me to safety, I told them about the man in the cave. They searched but found no trace of him. No footprints, no blade, nothing. But I know what I saw. And I know I'll never go back. Even now, I can't escape the feeling that someone is watching me. The cave took something from me, my trust in the world, my sense of safety. But I survived. And I won't let it take anything else.